Good evening, folks. R.C. Scott here. Laborer by day, writer by night, but creep all the time. I am joined by my friend here, Sako Tume, fellow writer, who's also on mute, but unmute and introduce yourself.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. It did not allow me to edit my subtitle. That's very interesting.
Wow. StreamYard has it out for you, yo.
I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in ever playing a D&D game or a game like that, you might want to check out my channel. I've got a bunch of videos on the topic of etiquette. You might want to drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Wasn't today like the either the birthday or the anniversary of the passing of the creator of D&D? I think I saw someone post on Facebook today. Because, yeah, the thing was like, he died like 7 years ago? Something like that. It's been a while. But I do remember him from the episode of Futurama.
Yes, that was hilarious.
But before we get into that, welcome people chat. I saw Margaret Bernard post, was that earlier today? But anyways, it didn't show up, and yeah, she hit the like, and she pinged me, and the ping was noted, Margaret, if you're out there listening. Thank you. And it's not showing Lord Vito. I saw you up there too, bro, man. Thanks for stopping in. Get some rest while you're at it. That was me responding to as well. Hoping he is well.
Mm-hmm.
And Shannon, making friends with the like button. Be sure to do the same, folks. Make friends with it, or just casual acquaintance. You know, we all don't need to be friends with everybody, but at least be cool with it, man. But thanks for coming, Shannon. My boy J-Pierre, how you doing, man? You were kind of early, but hey, man, it's all good. So, did you figure out what happened to our guy from D&D?
He died in 2008.
Was it any time around now?
March 10th, I think.
Oh.
Hold on, let me double check. March 4th. No, it's today.
His grave anniversary's today.
His death day is today.
He's pretty old, wasn't he?
1938 to 2008.
Oh my God, I did that in my head for a second. 70. Well, that's not too old.
Age 69, yeah.
That's my dad's age. Well, I got to use the phone. I'm kidding. Yeah, that fear, isn't it? Well, I believe, to quote, I wouldn't say a great man, a great-minded man, a very troubled man, but still great-minded nonetheless. I believe he said that the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. I think most horror fans know that quote. I'm not trying to gatekeep, but you should probably know this. But yeah, the unknown. And that's what brings us here tonight. The unknown. The things that we think we see, we think we hear, or we know we did. Ghosts, anything. As a horror fan, so obviously I've always been drawn to the dark stuff. And I kind of want to believe it's real. I am that Mulder guy. I want to know that aliens are real, monsters are real. That'd be nice. Just because, it's I don't know, I guess a break from the banal, maybe. Is that what we get into that kind of stuff? Or are we just weird? But nonetheless, whether you believe in ghosts or not, I do believe there's more than what we perceive with our own, subjective consciousness, whether it be hallucinations or just energy. But I do believe, I would say like ghosts in the sense like, we're going to haunt our old house and try to hire a paranormal, exterminator to get them out. But yeah, I do believe we do leave something of us behind, whether it's like residual energy or just like we kind of bifurcate. What do you think, Sako?
I am Buddhist, and so we tend to keep the ashes of our dead in our shrines. And like, for instance, our dog Darla, she hangs out in the Butsudan, and the cat that she had raised she had raised a cat much like a puppy. The
Aw.
cat at 2 o'clock in the morning would pray, would chant at the and meow and talk at the boots it on at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Now, like meow, did it like was like a melodious meow or just meowing?
Meow.
Oh, probably as good as a cat can do it. So you believe that we lived on in some way?
My
after you
dad
died?
thinks I am the reincarnation of a woman he knew in Hawaii.
Really?
Mhm.
Um, is there a particular reason?
Uh, One, I'm named for her.
Oh,
Apparently, especially when I was in high school, I talked like her, I walked like her, I wore clothes very similar to her style. So it kind of freaked my dad out.
did she die like before you were born?
Cancer. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I mean, so no matter what, you die, you move on to something else. Nothing of you stays behind.
Um, if you have unfinished business, I believe that you hang out.
Well, I'd like to think most of us have unfinished business. That's what keeps us going every day. I mean, unless it's something that's just really troubling you, like unfinished like stress, or
Yeah.
like you're worrying about another person. Because your stories like that, where like people will pass on worrying about someone else, and maybe they kind of like live on in that constant cycle of worry. I don't know, like some part of their soul lives on in that.
Mm, it's possible.
I think like there's this one guy. He claimed to be Catholic, and he said he believes in the old tradition, like if you die, you go to hell if you feel like you failed, or that you only go to hell if you have unfinished business. I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, for Catholicism, doesn't sound too far off, but still a little nuts. I'm pretty sure like everybody goes to hell.
Mm, I think hell is like certain point in life. Like we all go there for
Oh,
sure. We
yeah,
all
well,
experience it.
yeah. Well, I meant like from the Catholicism point of view, everyone's going to hell. But yeah, as far as like Lake of Fire, demons poking you, stuff like that. I mean, come on. I think that I don't know if it's like dark energy or it's just like misused energy that just mutated into something else. I do believe there's a source to that. I don't know exactly a place of punishment for sinners or wayward people,
I think
but
that's bullshit. Yeah.
I think there is some type of grease trap for the universe. Maybe like in between the stars, that antimatter and the void,
Mm.
beyond all consciousness, maybe where the nameless ones are at, where he sleeps. No, I'm kidding. Well, actually, I hope I'm kidding. That's one. That's one
I
thing
hope
I'm
I'm
not. I
kidding.
hope it's not. I hope it's not real. Even though if I'm one day I see a bunch of tentacles coming from the sky, that'd be kind of cool. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm dead. And yes, I saw you slip in there. I guess sneaky. What up, Damien, the unholy one, Little Wing, the son of the devil, fear of the unknown, and Ariel. How are you doing, Ariel? Thanks for coming, my friend over on Facebook.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. I'm trying to get on her one day. She knows her stuff.
Nice.
So as far as like just unfinished business, what about like you don't know you're dead and you're
Um,
stuck in whatever like daily routine you were in, like it's
I
almost
think
like
that's part of that unfinished business is getting in that loop, and that is hell.
I mean, yeah, unless you enjoy it. Some
I
people like that
suppose.
rut, the
Yeah, I
boring.
guess.
I like it to a degree. I do like having a pattern,
Hmm.
but eventually it's going to get boring and I'll have to switch it up.
done that.
Oh, it didn't show up on my side yet. Lame.
Which is funny because I'm looking at it in StreamYard.
Oh, that's lame. Whatever. It'll show up eventually. So, do you remember the first time you thought you saw a ghost? Or anything just weird? It doesn't have to be a ghost.
The first time?
Uh-huh.
I was maybe 5, and I used to talk to myself all the time until the day someone talked back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what it was about? What was said?
I don't, but she was with me until, I mean, she's still with me, like, even now, but, like, she doesn't take control anymore, if you get my meaning.
Yes.
She used to knock me out of the driver's seat, and I would lose time. That was that was basically the entirety of my childhood, going into my teen years and into my adulthood.
What do you think, or who do you think she is?
I think she's a minor demon.
Oh. What makes you think she came to you? Or, I mean, I don't think there's any reason to any of that.
I don't know. Like, I think she was spurred by trauma.
I was going to say, was it during a bad time in your life?
My dad was pretty abusive at the time. No longer. He's a different person now. But, shit happens.
That's one thing that people do change. And they learn from however hard they bump their head. Some people don't. But yeah, you can. That's the beauty about life. You are not under any obligation to be the person that you were 5 minutes ago.
Yes. Correct.
You don't have to have the same attitudes, the same fears, the same hatreds. You need the hatreds. Try to understand why you hate them. And is there any reason to hang on to that? And not to mention, everything I've known about violent people, I met a lot of violent people in this city. The more I've gotten to know a lot of them, the more I realize they've had really horrible lives, like the biggest, scariest people I've met. So the more you talk to them and like you start to look past all that loud bass and all that woofing, they're so hurt on the inside, scared. They think they got to hurt everybody to keep them from being hurt.
Yep.
I don't know if that transfers into the post life. I like to think they shed all that shit when they go, because it's just
not always. Not always.
You don't think you lose all that experience when you come on the other end of that cycle and disintegrate?
I don't think so. No. I don't think there's always closure.
Yeah, that's another thing people hold on to. Like, sometimes you're not going to get closure, and that's from anything. And it's like accepting that is the hardest part,
especially from dead fathers. There's a lot of like unfinished, like there is a lack of closure when a father passes away.
Yeah. So, go ahead. You're about to say something.
Why don't you tell us what your beginning exposure to stuff was?
Well, when I was still in the womb, when I was about 2-ish, maybe 3, because I was living in a different part of the city. When I was born, we lived in this one spot until I was about 3 years old. And we went somewhere else. But in that first spot, I just remember my older brother and I were walking. I was about 3. He was 5. We were just walking around the neighborhood, we ended up creeping on someone's yard. I don't know if they were there or not. We're going down the driveway, and for some reason, I thought they had cool looking rocks along this rock bed along the side of their house. So just me being 3, I walked up and started grabbing some. And I don't know what it was, like something just like looking at me or whatever. But I looked up from where I was at the window above me. The window was open, and I just see these green fingers sticking out like a hand,
Ooh.
like going to grasp me. Dropped the rock, screeched, and ran off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looking at it back now as an adult, it's probably just an aloe plant or some shit. You know, the wind
Sure.
blew it and it just stuck out. And I thought it was, the outstretched, grasping hand. But hang on a sec.
I think my favorite was when I was in college. Was when, so apparently, in the building where they were in the apartment building where they were using as student housing, there had been a fire, maybe 50 years beforehand. Excuse me, and there was supposedly a small boy who liked to create mischief and whatnot in the apartment.
Little punk.
Yeah, little punk indeed. There was a walk-in closet, and I took a picture of my friend who lived in the apartment. I took a picture of her in the closet. The light had been out when we developed the pictures, and this was when you actually had to like turn it into the grocery store, and the grocery store would send it off to a lab and like actually develop your stuff. We came back with there was fire coming out of the walk-in closet from behind her.
Ooh, that is creepy. Now, what do you think that is? I mean, spirits is one thing, people is one thing, but fire? What do you think?
Fire.
It's just like it created such a big energy that it kind of just like left its own little shining, I guess you can say.
Maybe.
But hold on a sec, yeah, but now that I finally got this shit fixed, I finally see your comment there, Tillery. Thank you very much for showing. And I did say hey because I couldn't see it there. Go Leafs. Thank you, Mama Ward, one of my wise ladies. Books by Adrian. Howdy, friend. Thanks for coming. And I do believe we do have a stream set up for next Sunday. I will get it to you. All that set up tonight. I've been a little occupied for the past week. Drama, work, life. And he is back, Lord Vito. What up, my man? Thanks for coming. Yeah, you flex those muscles, Lord Vito. Well, for the hearing impaired, I'll probably be in and out. Just wanted to start with a big hello and leaving a like. Thanks, Adrian. I appreciate the like. All right, Mama Ward didn't realize anything about it because it was so normalized for me as a child that my sister and I didn't know that we were routine that the little girl we used to play with wasn't a neighborhood child. Ooh.
See, there was always kids like at the playground on base. We never knew who the parents were.
Ghost kid.
Like it would not surprise me if like one of the kids that we played with was like an orphaned child.
Like the grudge kid. Well, I hope your wife feels better, Adrian. It feels like everyone's sick nowadays. I mean, I'm due with that means. I'm
With
usually like one of the last people.
With anything, not just plague things, but like food poisoning and
bronchitis.
Yeah.
I get sick twice a year. Usually in the springtime, usually like around November, December. It's real bad sinus infection. Otherwise, I really didn't. When I was a kid, especially had to get out of school from that giant petri dish. I didn't get sick as often. I guess that probably strengthened my immune system.
We are telling scary stories. We're telling stories about the paranormal. Ooh.
Yes, Vito. You know, I don't know if I've ever. Whoa. Mama Ward's launching her book Sunday.
Wow, cool.
Congrats, Mama Ward. That is awesome. Be sure to drop a link. You know, whatever you want to. You are a mod on here. You have the power.
That is awesome.
But I was gonna say, I don't know if I ever had any like kids that were ghosts that I played with because it's being in the city. There's always parks and shit like that, and I'm pretty sure there's probably a few dead kids walking around.
Mm-hmm.
If there were, they didn't tell me. I wish they would have. I probably would have hung out with them more.
Mm-hmm. Let the right one in.
I'm in a apartment with my uncle in Manhattan right now. She says that there's a ghost there. Wait a minute, you're in Manhattan right now? Oof.
I just came from Manhattan.
Really?
Like I spent Thursday there.
Have they cleaned it up at all?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
I've never been there, but I heard that it's like Chicago, except for it smells like pee, and the people are more rude.
Define rude.
Not very helpful, especially with lost travelers and just not, really out of my way, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, yeah, I'm walking out of, that kind of stuff.
I've experienced that in Chicago, not New York.
Really?
Really.
I have never experienced that here.
Someone, when I was driving into Chicago, like I was stopped at a red light and this guy started walking the crosswalk and during the red light, and then he like stopped and like put his hands on my car and was like, what the fuck, and then kept walking, and I was like, did I do something?
Oh, that's it. They didn't jump on your windshields, sticking a bag of blow or weed up against it like $15, $20, man.
No, nothing like that. I just had like really disgruntled pedestrians.
Where were you at?
Oh, I don't even remember now.
Was
Probably
it South Side?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. We're a little less friendly down here, especially if we're just walking across the street. Even if we don't, well, technically we always have the right of way.
Technically, you always have the right of way.
Not to mention, I don't know why in God's name anyone would want to drive in this city. Not to mention, you got stupid people on the road, and the streets are so narrow, especially like you get deeper in the more condensed parts, like the north side, Ravenswood area. They are so narrow. You're making a turn at an intersection. You're ready. You feel like you're about to roll off into the goddamn sidewalk.
Oh.
Just tight. Well, I mean, they were built in, horse and carriage times, not meant for, automobiles.
Right.
But, all right. So there was that aloe plant possible demon hand.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to this, what was it? Yeah, the Roseland neighborhood. Oof. This was, the one-story house. We lived here for like about 8, 9 years. I didn't get to go out very much. In fact, my parents got like cable and all that and video game systems to keep us in the house because the neighborhood was so dangerous. But I always hear weird things at night, especially in the basement. I would have nightmares about that basement, just like something down there. It always led to that. And I just remember a couple of times in the middle of the night hearing people walking through the hallways. One time I got up to investigate. I heard someone walk through the hallway. I'm like, all right, I got this asshole. I go run out there. Then I hear her go and walk through the kitchen. I creep into the kitchen. I go into the kitchen. I hear footsteps going into the front room. I go hop into the front room. Nothing in there. I'm like, that son of a bitch. Like, fine, screw it. I'm going to bed. And like, I'm like going back to my room. I guess that woke both my parents up. They're hearing all this multiple footsteps going through, little ones and like adult sounding ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh no, this is how it happened. My mom was in the bathroom, already awake, heard me and heard whatever. I guess that woke my dad up. He got up to investigate. She went from one side of the house. He went from the other side. Nobody turned the lights on, mind you. I go slip off into the bed. I hear more footsteps, not knowing they're awake. Then all of a sudden I hear like in the hallway the footsteps conversion. Then I hear two grown-ups screaming at the top of their lungs in straight terror because they bumped into each other in the dark. So I think the ghost punked me and I punked my parents. That's the first story. Or sorry, second story.
Second story.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I think Vito said he had a crazy ass story.
Yeah,
So
he had
the Lord of
couple.
Vito's. Oh, yes. There are a lot of floating spirits in the city and in that water, too. The canals, the channels, you got the Chicago River, then you got that big lake. I wonder how many bones are in that damn thing. That's why I never swim in it or want to drink from it. Because of thieves? You're going to find that everywhere, dude. Daniel Fisher. What up, my man? Dreaming about the end of the world. Always trying to save people.
Oh.
The world's ending.
Well, we're in the end times now. So
how long have they been saying that?
Like,
I'm pretty sure they've been saying that since like they wrote the New Testament. About to pass out soon, but just high for now. Man, you better tell me that story before you pass out, man.
He
high, so
mentioned that he used to play with a neighborhood kid.
Oh, I thought that was Mama Ward. Oh, no. Shit. My bad, dude. I missed your comment. So check this. When I was younger, like 10, 13, I was trying to exercise with my brother and a neighborhood friend. So I'm running. And as a fat kid, I suck at running, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I saw my neighborhood friend running besides me, but farther away, just to make sure I... Hold up. Stop picking on him. Old man came out of nowhere. He's grabbed your arm, said, "Don't stop." You were freaked the fuck out. And went to get your neighborhood friend. When you looked back, he was gone. Yeah. Those old man ghosts. They do that.
Old man ghosts are also lechers. Or at least the one that I knew was a lecher.
A black hole, sun, and sky. It comes to wash away the rain, my friend. Black hole, sun, won't you come? I was just listening to that album that's like a few days ago.
Oh, Super Unknown.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
And the one after that, what was that? On the Outside, or what it was called? Down on the Outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to listen to some grunge once in a while. Like, I know everyone talks about Nirvana. They do have a few good songs, but I was never that big into them. I think when it comes to grunge, like Alice in Chains, Mother Love Bone, Soundgarden, SCP. Well, I mean, okay, Nirvana might be a little better than SCP just off of the album Bleach alone, but that's not about ghosts, so I'll stop talking. Tangent City.
Hi, Adega.
Oh, I didn't see Adega show up. That's stupid.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of comments from there.
For some reason, it's not loading up on my side. My computer's been acting funky all day. I don't know if it's my connection or what, but hey, at least, the stream's holding up.
The end times come later.
I thought you were the high one. We're all high here, man. What are you talking about? Yeah,
I'm actually pretty sober.
Boo. Should have kept that to yourself. Get off my stream. And I love that song and the video. Yeah. And the band. I got Saw 'em live too. Oh. Tucked into bed on Christmas Eve. Oh, that's cool. I hear stuff like that too, like a presence in a home, and you get like this warm feeling. I'd be at a couple of friends' houses, and I would get that. And it'd be kind of weird too, like they'd have like dogs or whatever, and like they would always come to me and be like extra friendly. Well, the one thing that I always show them attention because I love dogs. Yeah. But yeah, I always got that vibe. and you don't know if it's just the atmosphere of the home or maybe there's something else there, kind of like providing the energy. Because I've been in houses where you just feel that sadness, that emptiness, even if there's nothing there to really show it.
There is resonance in places that, like, I have my one of my best friends. I can't stand being at his house. He lives with his parents, and his parents are toxic people, and like it the place like leeches off of you, like just the whole vibe of the joint like will bring you down and make you crazy.
I've had houses like that too. It's, well, I'll get to the one house because you kind of mentioned like the fire thing in relation to like probably my biggest haunting story that still kind of bothers me to this day, but that's not that one. Let's see. There was that house. Yeah, a lot of nightmares about the basement, and it's funny because they the way they built this house, they plan on like making a back porch, but instead they decided to add on to the house. So you have this door that opens up, and you're like underneath the house. So it's like a weird kind of crawl space. But the door itself is like really old, and it was just dark green and just rotted looking. So like a lot of dreams connected to that. And as soon as I moved out of that house, the dream stopped. And the thing that I dreamt about stopped following me because I did dream about a creature that was down there that always wanted to drag me through that door.
Ooh.
Like an evil, demonic looking creature. This is like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old before I even really built my horror chops to develop that kind of imagination, I personally think. But who knows? I've always been kind of weird. I could have thought of it on my own. So I get out of that house. I used to help my friend at this rec center in town. They always had like games there, pool. I'd go up there and kick everybody's ass, or like they'd have like music in the pavilion area.
Okay.
And I'd always get my friends trying to get gigs up there. Apparently, well, it's probably been around since like the 1880s when it first opened. Chicago, old city. But I guess 2 people there died of a heart attack, and the janitor hung himself in the boiler room. My friend who also worked there, I guess he'd seen like shadows of things in the boiler room with like hanging from a pipe that weren't there, like the shadows of it, stuff like that. I remember helping him. I'd be sitting there vacuuming in the room or whatever, and all of a sudden I feel something like just like yank at the back of my hair. And I turn around, nothing be there.
Mm.
But the first time that really, really caught on to me is when I was setting up tables in one of the banquet areas, and I had the door open that led into the lobby. I'm walking past the doorway, and I was just like looking just in that direction for random reasons, and I saw this dark figure standing right there in the hallway. It was all black and shadow, but the profile looked just like Kane Hodder's Jason looked, the way he's like with his shoulders up and like just, it's kind of hard to explain. Kane Hodder is Jason just with that profile, just standing straight. And like I doubled back and it was gone. And then, it's knocking in random places and, the bathroom, flushing, stuff like that, door slamming. That's number 3. So let me get caught up with this before I, lose my place with these folks. Thank you all for showing up, by the way. Make friends with the like button or not. It's up to you. Free to do whatever. This is a free society, friends. The dream. A chorus of voices speaking as one voice. The human race is at a crossroads. One path leads to progress and the other disaster. Well, I feel like that's just, always been our destiny. Either go off into the abyss or, ascend. And you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm just one human in the mix of the world. There's always a chance of disaster. Okay. I probably should have read that for you. All right, there you go. Anyone check out Mama Ward's link. And what up, Jeno? What is up? One of my very, very good friends. Fellow Chicago native and a damn good cook as well.
Cool.
Recurring dreams of black and white where you're being chased. I think...
I don't dream in black and white.
Neither do I.
I get chased a lot.
Doesn't it have to in relation to guilt and shame?
That I don't know.
I've read a couple of books on dreaming, and that's one of them. I don't know the black and white. I think it depends on the dream. I know I've had black and white dreams,
Ooh.
but I don't really dream that often. Like I'll get little segments of nothing really significant. A lot of the times I'm on a road. I'm traveling in a car or whatever. I'm just going down the expressway. I'm broke down. I'm back on the road. That seems like to be like the reoccurring thing in my dreams. Fuck, for like the past 15 years or so.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it means, I do not know.
Dream interpretation books are mostly bullshit because it's mostly contextual. Right? So if the symbolism doesn't mean shit to you, then why would you get a book with like, prompts that don't apply to you?
Oh, not to mention with enough weed, anything can be cosmic significance behind it.
True.
Hold on. Yeah. I have been in places where
It is
I had to
too
leave.
much. It is too much for me to bear at Mike's place.
I have been in houses where like, I got to get out of here.
I gotta get out of here.
Work is one of those places. Ghosts have no mass to them or matter. Time and matter or space are one thing. For example, once you start pushing limits of matter and mass, you bend time. Also, an example of satellites around the Earth are moving so fast, they're technically moving slower than us down here to Earth. You are really high, my friend.
You are really, really high. Yeah.
And I'm glad you're here. Just eat some food. If you want a good tip, take those cosmic brownies, those little Debbie ones. Take the 2 pieces, put peanut butter on one of them, and just smack it down like a sandwich. If you die from diabetes, whatever, I'm not responsible. You did it on your own. Dude, you already know. You've known me longer than anybody in this place right here. What show have you been watching, Jenno? Yeah, he's definitely outside of time and space right now. Here in Colorado. Oh, yeah, you got the Overlook Hotel there. Well, actually, no, it's called the Stanley Hotel. My bad.
Yeah, Occoquan is one of the most haunted places in America. It was like one of its like touristy sale points, like back in the 80s, 90s, I think. So like you'd go to the theater and there'd be like commercials for like a ghost tour and shit like that.
Nice. And yes, that was a pretty nice rant, Vito. You should be proud of it. But Daniel Fisher's beating you with this one, man. Continued. Wow. Dude, you got to write this into a story, man. For reals. Either you do it or I will. I already know how to do that shit, man. I bet it'll be better. You never know. I was in my 20s before I learned that most people don't dream in color and they don't feel textures or temperatures and dream or smell odors. Nope, I felt cold in a dream. I know.
I feel all the things.
Yeah, I know I felt pain.
In my dreams, yeah.
I know I've seen color because I've seen road signs and I recognize the green.
I can read.
I
see numbers.
I don't know if I can read it or it's just like it's recognizable in my subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And no, what up, my friend? Thanks for coming. Fellow writer, y'all should check her out. Frozen and shock. Yeah, I would be freaked out too, man. That is intense.
Woof.
I wonder what that is about.
Same exact format. Wow.
I wonder if there's any like anything in your past, maybe a possible like trauma.
Ooh, maybe.
That's unrelated to that. Maybe it's like the martyrs people and they're coming back for you. That would suck. Beware of extortion. Hell yeah.
War of Prophecies. There's the link.
Plug
Buy
away, my friend.
Buy it.
This
Buy
is
it. Buy it.
So, Daniel, how often does this happen? I really got to know. Yeah, I was going to get to that pretty soon, man. Don't worry.
Sleep paralysis. Yeah.
Yeah. Those things. Yeah.
I
got a crazy.
I was paid to be a witch in a Catholic house, and there was a presence while she was sleeping, so it was like a sleep paralysis thing, and it wasn't a malignant demon spirit thing. It was more of a uncomfortable presence thing, and so I cleansed the shit out of everything. I protected the shit out of everything, and like armed them basically to continue fighting without me being there.
Yeah. That's the only place you feel it, Veed.
Waka waka.
Got a crazy story about no sleep. Well, you're going to sleep, man. I do want to hear about this. We could have this conversation again at some point. It doesn't have to be a one-time stream. I love how he refers to himself as Veed. So cool. Yeah, vivid dreams. I do have some, like, even from childhood that I remember that just stuck the hell out. Pretty freaky ones too.
I suffered from nightmares pretty constantly throughout my childhood, to the point where I would avoid sleeping, and my record is like 130 hours awake. And then I'd have like a 12-hour stint of sleeping, and then I'd be up for another week. And then
I was going to say, where were you at about 5 days, 6 days?
I stopped counting by day and I start counting by hour. So I'm not 100% sure how many days that is. How many days is...
Here, man the fort for a second. I got to refill my drink. So, talk.
Yeah, about 5.5 days. Yeah.
You're set? I'm going to grab my drink.
Grab your drink.
Yeah.
I shall hold down the fort. Yeah. I think the next ghosty thing was that I was in an apartment building, and I was usually nude. I was nudist when I was at this apartment, and I was getting molested by ghosts. That was kind of shitty. So I started wearing clothes. I started cuddling my sleep demon, and it got so fed up with me not feeding it that my fear that it just left. Yeah. Ignoring a demon is a spirit in general, like a servitor or
a demon.
A demon, I suppose.
I got my H2O.
They will either leave or they will,
if they like you, they won't
cease to exist.
If there's a lot to feed off of you and they like you, they might stay.
Mm-hmm.
Depends how much energy you have and how much energy you can bring to them.
Indeed.
Well, I want to see if I got one more before the really scary one. I mean, other than like, oh yeah, Bachelor's Grove. When it comes to like a haunted place in Chicago, well, other than just being a haunted city full of dead people, it's a haunted cemetery. It's been around since like the 1800s, and rumor has it the Capone used as, because there's like a little lake back there, and he used to dump bodies back there and just like, or bury them somewhere. But ever since that time, it's been known that people going back there and performing rituals, partying, desecrating graves, digging it up, going off, hauling off with the bones and shit like that. I guess it just after a while just kept creating more dark and dark energy. And I guess after the 80s, it got even worse. They'd like to say it's because of the heavy metal scare from the 80s.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you know, Diamond Head and Slayer and shit like that. I mean, it might have compelled people to get into that, you know, to the occult. And you never know. Maybe some people got fucked up and got the ritual right. Drew some kind of dark energy to that place.
Maybe.
But my personal experience, nothing. I no way. One night I saw what looked like a purple orb. I snuck out there. I used to sneak out there back all the time in the 90s, but then they started getting real hardcore about it. They would put like not barbed wire, but they would put like, you know, like thorn bushes and just like kind of border out the entire woods where you couldn't get in there unless you had like a chainsaw or some shit. But yeah, like hours of walking through there in the night. I would hear like weird footsteps, but it could be written off as anything. But yeah, like the purple orb, you know, I had my friends tell me they see shit. Nah. Excalibur, it's a club here. I heard that place is super haunted.
Ooh.
Now in Northwest Indiana, in Gary, we have the Demon House, which has been torn down. I've heard of that place.
Yes, I have heard of that place.
For those out there, the Demon House, that would be located over on like the east side of Gary. I walked by it a couple of times because I was staying out on the west side for about a year and a half or so. I'm trying to remember where that was at. It was like right there as soon as you get into like the east side. You know, because like it changes like it from state names to whatever. But I'm trying to exactly where the hell it's at. Yeah, it's it's called the Ammons Haunting Case. I should be screen sharing, but I'm feeling lazy right now. Well, either way, just like murders there, and it was abandoned for a while, like ritual sacrifice. Like they'd find like children's clothes buried in the basement, the crawl space.
Ooh.
Like cops would get called there, hearing noises in the night, like people getting brutally murdered, like screaming coming from the house, and they'd go in there, and actually a couple of times the cops would go there, they leave, and like the next day they would quit the force. Just like I heard, like there were 2 cases of that, and one of the cops was interviewed about it, and he wouldn't talk about what he saw, and he was just like, "Yep, I was gone the next day. I left that city. I moved."
Wasn't
the guy from Ghost Adventures.
Wasn't H.H. Holmes Chicago as well?
Yeah, the murder house. That was 63rd and Wallace, South Side.
Wow.
That was during the World Fair. That's actually a really awesome story. I mean, horrible what he did, but holy crap, it was so inventive.
Yeah.
Mama Ward being her cuddling with a sleep demon because she's awesome. But yeah, if anyone wants to check out, you know, the Chicago World Fair was at 1895. But there's a big conspiracy theory behind that if you want to check that out. If you want to go down that rabbit hole of the World's Fair in Chicago that year, that gets really interesting. But if you'd like to stay on the surface, check out the H.H. Holmes murder house and that whole story. Like he made this crazy maze of a house with these secret rooms where he do these experiments, torturing people and like just burning their bodies, getting rid of them. I don't know how many people they found in there.
There were 9 people. There was one that was actually killed. There were 9 people that were missing.
Yeah, and just recently there was this documentary, you know, trying to connect H.H. Holmes to the Jack the Ripper murders because he was in Europe at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have surgical knowledge.
Yep.
And an ego. A big-time ego. I actually used the murder house in this fan fiction I wrote a few years ago. Just thought I'd throw it out there. But yeah, that was South Side. It's torn down now. I think the post office is there.
Mm.
But yeah, there's that. But yeah, there's the Demon House, and if y'all ever watch the show Ghost Adventures, that guy Zach Baggins, Mr. Baby Gap T-shirt guy, He bought the house. What do they call that when you like buy it unseen, uninspected, like a cold buy or whatever?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
bought cold. He did
Mhm.
that, and then he brought like a camera in there, and he
Quick
decided,
sale.
yeah, something like that. He brought a camera in there, and he did a investigation in there by himself overnight.
Hmm.
And of course, they it like it gets kind of dramatized, but you never know. But anyways, and then the thing ends with him walking out, and he tells him just to tear the whole thing down to the ground after staying there overnight. And when it showed the special, you never know what those things, they play it up so much. But I did not see a demon come out of any dark corner and drag Zach Baggins into hell. So it wasn't a good episode. But like when it comes to that dramatized stuff, like, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunter, I think most of that stuff's bullshit.
It is. It is. There's a YouTuber that I sometimes watch that her reactions are the reason why I watch it. Like, she is hilarious. Like, I can't remember the name of the fucking account, though.
I don't know, but as a guy who loves puns, Daniel Fisher, you have won the internet for tonight.
Yeah.
Oof. I've heard that about people who go by Ground Zero in New York.
Reggie Watts ghost hunting. Oh, that sounds fun.
Like, there's just that feeling of just, despair when you go to there.
Yeah.
I have that like a lot of towns here in the city, like streets too, like going down Halsted and going down places like Damon. I just think of violence.
In Savannah, Georgia, the roads are paved with the dead. And basically what happened is the graveyards were full, and so they just buried them beneath the roads and built the roads. And like, so I surf the dead. I get kind of drunk when I'm around the dead, and especially if I'm like in a cemetery or a graveyard. And when I'm in Savannah, it's like all the time, because fucking the dead are everywhere.
My work is 3 miles away. Go ahead, sorry.
There's apparently etiquette that you're supposed to have in graveyards and stuff too.
Well, yeah, especially Southern graveyard, you got to be extra courteous. You better show up with a mint julep. But anyways, excuse me if anyone heard that.
What were you saying?
My work is 3 miles away, and I ride my bike there when weather permits, when it's not raining or snowing or 30 below zero. In between my home and my work, there are 3 cemeteries.
Damn.
One really small one regular size one, and one massive one. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people dying here in Chicago. And some reason they want to, spend money to bury them. But anywho, yeah, it's not so bad. Like, I work second shift. I'll ride there, whatever. At night, it's different because I'll have like probably a mile strip where it's cemetery on both sides and the street lights don't work. And it's funny, like the first time I rode through there, I'd say the first 10 seconds, I was like, oh shit. But it kind of wore off real fast. Where it's just like, hello, friends. Are you ready to rock? But at the same time, I'm also have my earbuds in and I'm listening to something loud and heavy. Usually have to if you want to keep pedaling after working 10 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always get that cool vibe too. But like, don't be obtrusive. That's also the feeling I get too. Come chill, but don't overstep.
Ground Zero being... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was done.
Oh, okay.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's a skull. with bones.
Yeah, I know Mama Ward. I was just talking smack about Zach Baggins. The South and all together, especially like anywhere around like where Civil War battles took place, you hear all types
I
of crazy
live
shit.
I live in a
Yeah,
like Bull Run is like a half an hour from me.
you have a lot of blood in your soil, probably as much as I do.
Yup.
But yeah, that's the blood of revolution. Mine's senseless.
Oh, our blood is Civil War.
What's so simple about war anyway?
I know.
But
Seeing
yeah,
pictures of mass graves is chilling. I agree.
I've always wanted to go to New Orleans and check out those graveyards there.
All my friends are in New Orleans right now, and it's driving me bonkers.
Yeah, my
'Cause
cousin lives out there, and she's always telling me like, "You need to come down here. I know everybody." I'm like, "No,
French Quarter is amazing. It's my favorite city. I
yeah,
have been all over the country, and New Orleans, French Quarter is my favorite.
but if I go down there and hang out with that cousin, I'm either gonna die from alcohol poisoning or overdose,
I gotcha.
and
Yeah,
it'll
the
probably
whole
be some
city is
drug I've
like
never done before, and I'm just so caught in the moment, like, all right, sure, give me. Blah.
yeah.
I'll be haunting the French quarters, doing my cage accent. Oh my else, yeah. Oh.
So there are two graves for Marie Laveau. There is one that they tell tourists is the grave, and then there is another grave that is the real grave.
Nice.
And I had a ring of protection that I found out that my brother had committed suicide that weekend. He had waited until I was in New Orleans to commit suicide.
Sorry.
And the ring of protection that I had worn for the last like 20 years broke. And which means something was after me. So I donated the ring to the grave of Marie Laveau and wished that his passing was an easy one.
Wow. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. And if Jenno's still here, she's been a million times, chef lady. I'm jealous. Never took me. But
New Orleans is amazing.
Mama Ward, that's cool. My stepdad he likes doing those, and when he lived up here, anytime he'd go, like, dude, let me know. Yeah, New Orleans. One day I want to go. I don't want to do it during Mardi Gras. I don't want to go with a bunch of fucking people. If I were to like do Mardi Gras, I want to go like out in the sticks and see like the real thing.
Mardi Gras is not what it used to be in the before times. Like
it seems like St. Patrick's Day parade now. People pretending to be Irish.
Savannah, St. Patrick's Day is basically the only other place in the country where you can drink in the street.
Well, you can drink on the street here. You just got to conceal it.
Oh, we can't do that here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we can drink on our porch because it's private property, but we can't drink in public.
Oh, well, you can't drink in public here. I'm just saying, if you want to drink in public, just conceal it.
You just conceal it.
You know, like get one of those tall cans of beer and get a big gulp can, put a little ice at the bottom, stick it in their lid. Hey, buddy, I'm just drinking a damn Slurpee.
Yep, exactly.
I'm drinking Dr. Pepper.
I have a friend in Chicago, actually, who would fill, like, the honey bear, like the bear-shaped honey.
The squeeze bottle?
The squeeze bottle.
Yeah.
She would fill that with apple juice and vodka. And she would use it as a water bottle, like all day at school.
I would use it's funny. So I did this when I was a teenager in the fall in my 20s. I would either get a glass bottle of, it was either tea or apple juice, dump it out, fill it with whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm drinking apple juice, officer. But yeah, both parade. Well, the one downtown sucks. There's so many people. It's cool to check out once, except for you have to get there early if you want to see any of it. But even then, you're basically shoulder to shoulder, and your shoulders are cramming in the side of your face.
Mm-hmm.
But the South Side Parade, that's where oh my God. If like any part of me is going to resonate somewhere after I die, it's going to be there, stumbling along that damn sidewalk on Ketsy. But yeah, there's always, I guess they cracked down on it recently. You'd be able to drink on the sidewalk in public during the parade. But I think like about 10 to 15 years ago, yeah, they cut it all out. They had to get more clandestine about it. But New Orleans ghosts, yeah, like all that shit. I heard the place just seems like it's bathed in magic.
I think Maggie has a really good point, is that Katrina is what destroyed Nolans.
Yeah, that was... Ugh.
I went the year after, and the trees were stripped. Everything was desolate, like driving out there. It was really harrowing to see.
A friend of mine went down there to help with relief.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thing, what he saw floating in the water. Yeah. No good.
Yep.
Any clear bottle of Sprite. Yeah. Well, if I would do vodka? Water bottle. I would do that for concerts all the time.
I've been seeing a meme where this girl is using a Hershey's bottle as her water bottle at the gym.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
I have not done the
Hershey chug.
Hershey chug. No,
I didn't finish the bottle, but yes, I've done the chocolate and the caramel. Hey, I was baked. Whatever. It was good. A little too rich, but it was good.
You're funny.
But all right. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
I was 22 years old, living. Ooh. I spent a year living in the rural parts of Indiana, working at this horse barn that my uncle owned. He rented me this little small shack on his property that he owned about a mile away from the barn. It was straight up Unabomber shack too. Like even me walking out, like, oh, this is creepy even for me. But whatever, it's my own digs, and it's only a couple $100 a month, including electricity. Bam, I'm in there. Like right away, it was suspect. Well, for some reason there was carpet everywhere, even in the kitchen. Doors were missing. I noticed like immediately, like he had the windows bagged off because it was summertime.
Oh.
I started noticing flies, like dead flies starting to accumulate at the bottom of the window on the inside of the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. How are they getting in there? I looked, it's sealed, nothing. It kept building. Well, at this time, I was drinking a lot. I had just started off I would say my rookie season. I was getting a little into veteran levels of my drinking, and I was getting hammered all the time. And we got to say something?
Bye, Mama Ward.
Oh, shit.
See you around the tubes. Be blessed.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for the stories.
For reals. Always Mama Ward. Thank you. And I would love to have you on here sometime if I get my words right. I was drinking heavily. I would just get sober enough to go to work. And even then, I was working at a barn, and I was alone for most of the day. That didn't last long. I was getting drunk at work. Get like a 30-pack and just like slog it all day. But I would notice this window kept accumulating with dead flies.
Mm-hmm.
Until there was a pile of them. And I cannot figure out for the life of me how they're getting in here. Then things started ramping up. I'm hearing doors slam. And there's always one on the other side of the house or whatever. You call it damn house. It's basically, it was a converted garage that it was from this apartment building. No, it was a hotel, my bad, because it was kind of near the interstate. It was a hotel And you mentioned fire. It actually caught fire.
Mm.
And I guess a couple of people died. They were in there, like a staff member and a guest.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if my uncle said it's just a mess with me, but he said one of them might have died in the garage and burned alive.
Oh, shit.
But he was right about the other stuff, but he I think he probably embellished the part just to fuck with me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just him. You never know. He could be true. It's his way. He's related to me. What do you expect? Well, that started happening. No, that since you're here, Jenno, I think I know you've heard this damn story. Yeah, door slamming, and then I just started just sinking deeper and deeper, and just I wouldn't say it was depression, but also just angry, hateful, hated the world. But that wasn't too different for me. Maybe it just fed off of that,
Mm-hmm.
and started getting into my dreams, and like I would have these creepy ass dreams that I couldn't even go back in my room anymore because like every time I'd go in there, I'd get that anxiety. Like I got to get the hell out of here. There's something bad in this room, and like you just couldn't get my head around it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was like I didn't even think about it as being connected to any spiritual energy. I thought it was me being weird. And not to mention, I would always sit there in my front room, sitting on the couch, getting drunk till I pass out anyway.
Right.
But I remember one time having this dream where I was actually sitting in the front room watching something on television. The channel flipped on its own, and it went to some. I remember I was watching it seemed like a modern movie. Then it flipped to something that seemed older, like maybe like the 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The channel flipped again, and it was like some weird show. It looked like grainy or like the 70s, and went black and white to another one, and the TV shut off.
Mm.
Like, okay, I'm either really high or not high enough. Then all of a sudden, all right, now I'm sitting there looking at my TV. Off to my right is my the entrance to my bedroom. This black smoke starts, oozing out of it. And it almost takes the form it looked like, death in a cloak. That's what it looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up, and I was sleeping I was on my couch, and I was facing the back of it. And I heard this voice whisper in my ear, "You're gonna die, you motherfucker." Whipped around, nothing was there. All my hands, all the hairs in my body were standing. I'm like, holy shit. And I was so scared at this point. I could not sleep in there with the lights off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always had the lights on. And my girlfriend at the time would come over and stay the night. And one time she stayed the night, and I went down to work just to feed the horses, clean a couple of stalls, and get back to her. I'm probably gone like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I left her sleeping in my bed. I go there, do my thing. I come back. She's sitting out in the driveway on top of her car with like her knees up in her chest. And she's like, "I'm not going back in your house." Like I saw this black smoke start going around the corners of the, top corners of by the ceiling, and I just ran out. I'm like, I didn't tell her about the dream. I'm like, all right, let's take it home. I'd say about a month goes by, and drinking heavier, and anxiety ramping up. I'm sitting in there, and this is rural Indiana. I'm out in the middle of pretty much nowhere. It would take forever to get anywhere. The severe thunderstorm rolls in, and I'm sitting in there on the couch drinking, like, please God, don't let the power go out. Because I just kept getting this bad feeling, like, don't let the lights go out, please. As soon as that happens, something fucked up's going to happen. And I don't know if it was desperation or what. I ran over to one of my boxes and pulled out this Bible my uncle gave me, King James, Old New Testament.
New Testament,
Yeah, King James Version, all that shit. I opened up the book of Psalms, and for some reason, I just went to this random prayer, and I started saying it aloud.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got 3 words into it, lightning struck in front of my house and knocked the power out.
Oh, my God.
And my septic tank.
Oh, no.
I stood outside for about an hour, and it came back on. I was out of that house 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
It took me, I'd say, a little over a year to finally be able to sleep in the dark again.
Wow. My sister in
Read a dream book and read that Batman book I gave you. Sorry, I had to yell at my friend.
You're fine.
Hell yeah. Because you're Doll the Dream Warrior. People are saying hello to each other. Kind of stuff. What, you smoke now? Dude, every time I'm smoking, she don't smoke. But when I'm not smoking, she's smoking. Watching your fish. Ooh, fish. She makes excellent seafood, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I'd say it's her specialty. Aw, thanks, friend. You should stop by more often. And come hang out more often, too, in real life. No, she works a lot, her and her wife. They work about as much as I do. And I got this shit going on. And I try to write stuff occasionally.
And sometimes you write. Yeah.
I think that's me. I don't know. I kind of just go into that fugue state. But yeah, I'd say about 2 years after that, I went to see my cousin out there because he lived on the property of the barn, and he wasn't letting me live with him because I drank all the time, and he was Mr. Straight Shooter. Well, I mean, he drank, but he just wasn't wild about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I went to go visit him, and I'd been avoiding that strip of road ever since. I didn't even want to go by that house.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I went by there and it was torn down.
Oh.
All I kept thinking was, where did it go? Where did they go?
Yeah.
I don't know. Thinking about my life between then and now, they fucking follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought friends with them too. And they brought a convoy.
That's one of the reasons why I got into witchcraft, is so that I could actually do something about the nightmares, so that I could actually do something about my lack of sleep.
Yeah. This is why I didn't need to tell my family what genre I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess. Not romance. Put that in a story. I do have a ghost story that I want to write one day, but God, it's so hard to do now. It feels like every damn thing's been done.
I am. So the last book in the Damned Hitman saga that I'm writing, I believe it was Savannah that I spat him into, and he has to figure out an unsolved mystery from the 1920s or some shit like that. And good old Savannah, giving us the ghost stories. It's good.
I really want to. I've never been to Savannah. I've been in Georgia. I've been in Atlanta.
You gotta do Savannah for St. Patty's Day.
No, I don't. I'll be up going off the moonshine. But I would love to go down there and sip some tea, walk among the bones, walk on the bones. But you know what though? There are just some really nice areas in the South. Maybe it's being up in the North. That it gets pissed on constantly, whether it's because of attitudes or just the accent. Or their taste in sports. I don't know if it's probably considered a sport. Now, to me, I get the same excitement out of flushing M&Ms down the toilet. It's the same thing. And as a son of a race car driver, I'm surprised I'm not disowned by now. But you know what, though? He wasn't bad. But it's maybe I've been saying this since I was a kid. If they mounted guns on there and stuck landmines on the track, I'd be a season ticket holder for NASCAR. I'd get far enough away in my seats, but
yeah.
But you're talking about doing witch stuff, the occult as warding off protection. I've looked into that.
I have a spell that is still intact under my bed.
But if you think that people that are already sensitive to that kind of thing open that door, might make things worse. Might turn more heads in their direction, if you'd call them heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the problems, worries.
which is why I have a bag full of rocks and other herbs and talismans and stuff like that for protection.
What is it about them that gives them the power?
They have innate power, except for the talismans. I imbued those.
How do you go about like creating a talisman?
Okay, so there are amulets and talismans. An amulet is something that is nature made. A talisman is something that is man made. And you basically imbue it with a spell. I like to use protection because because the first thing a witch needs is protection. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if she goes traveling. Holy shit.
Just out of curiosity,
Hmm.
have there been any like when it comes to people who practice occult and like when warding off entities? Do you think they're attracted to certain genders or just whatever kind of like energy you
It's
have?
the energy you put
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you're male or female.
Yeah. They probably don't, you probably don't see that shit. They just see energy I can suck off. Yeah,
Hmm.
but like I was saying about that story, it's like I feel like I've seen everything. Not to
Yeah.
mention, it seems like I'll be like a ripoff Amityville or The Haunting of Hell House. Great book, by the way.
Hmm.
Like to this day, I like. Yeah, there's some books that I don't know. I think still hold up,
Nice.
but of course I'm going to do it. I'd have to take it into an extreme end,
Hmm.
but I would have too much fun with that. I don't want it to be just like an over the top, like bad.
You mean like Crowley bad or
Well, if David Fincher directed Amityville, just nihilistic and I don't know. I'll talk about that later. I got too much stuff to write before that.
okay.
But at least I have an idea of where I want to go with it. And more than likely, it'll be a novel. So that
Mm.
means that's big project later.
Big project later.
But summoning, like, have you any experience with any entities? I mean,
Absolutely.
you mentioned protection. Anything with
Absolutely.
like communication or yeah.
I most recently I have conscripted a spirit sent by Kali. He guards my blanket forts, and he or they they kind of they said they will protect, but they will not prevent destruction. So there is that to consider. Sometimes there are caveats to the spirits you summon. Um, Also, I have to have tea with them, and he likes being the center of attention, so I put him in the center of my shrine. And his name is Gorlak.
Now, do you think when it comes to like whatever deities or entities you commune with, do you think it's more of like they choose you, or do you got to choose them, seek them out?
I do a, I basically get a hold of a god and say, "Hey, I need a spirit. I need someone you'll vouch for."
What do you think it is about like something of that higher level even bothering with us?
Um, I have gods treating me like a peer, so I don't know.
Do you think it has anything that's connected with like maybe we're gods in our own?
I think we're all bodhisattvas of the earth.
Yeah.
You know, like we're all capable of such things.
Or we're just screaming rock fungus whirling through the void.
We could. That is also a possibility.
Or that's just a cool album title. Kind of long, though. So, you ever have anything backfire or anything like really scary happen during one of these things?
Did I ever have a backfire? I don't think I did.
I can already imagine it's happening to me as soon as I get into it. Before I even get out that first visual. Like that episode of Simpsons, Homer's trying to make breakfast and all of a sudden the cereal catches fire. That'd be me trying to get in the occult. Open the book, Satan just shows up like, look, dude, no. Just no. I'm taking this from you. You're irresponsible.
I have spirit guides that came to me. Like, that's different. But as far as like the
I'm totally
kind of
ignoring
spirits
Dahlia.
that I summon,
Absolutely, I'm totally ignoring our friend here.
oh,
It's okay.
in my case, they found me. I don't search for anything or anyone. Whatever it is, they find me.
Yes.
I know you are a proponent of protection for sure, but like you attract a lot of attention, doll.
I think
So
they like
that
my.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And good taste in music.
Yes.
I think they like my dark, destructive nature. Or the possibility of the opposite. And they want to snuff it out.
Maybe.
And I think they really come alive when I'm writing. I think that's where you got to, because we all have our dark side. And I think we have to be responsible for how we feed it. And also what we let in our lives is going to feed on it. Because, we have our demons, but people bring their demons too.
Mm-hmm.
And they might like our demons. They might want to get together. So I'm watching you writing in your journal. What are we doing?
I am currently working, actually. I'm drawing tarot cards.
Oh, which tarot was that?
This is the Lovers.
Interesting. I had that one pulled from me a few months ago. Last time I had anyone do a reading. It was about new connections and doing new things.
Oh.
I don't know. The past couple of months, I really haven't been doing anything new or interesting. So what the fuck they were talking about?
I think
Weirdos.
it depends on the deck for sure, but in general, the Lovers is not just about you and your relationship with other people, but your relationship with yourself. So that might have been you might get to know yourself a little bit better sort of path.
I think I know myself pretty well. I've always been introspective.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a difference between knowing yourself and what you can do to create a better understanding of yourself and possibly push that to something else. If that makes any sense.
Sure. Tarot is too visually challenging, so runes. Yeah. Runes are great.
Yeah.
And you can I suspect you'd be really good with bones too. Like it's bric-a-brac, like a bone set. Like if you're throwing bones, you're throwing.
What is that called?
A neuromancy? Hold on.
What's the difference between like reading bones and like reading other signs within like say like tea leaves or something?
It's identical.
Well, there's another word for it. Damn it! It was what Dr. Trelawney taught in. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Someone else figure it out. I'm too busy to think. I got a stream to host here. There are other brains at work.
A neuromancy is the dreams in order to foretell the future.
Divination. There we go. Thank you, Daniel Fisher.
Divination is talking to other. Yeah, divination. Talking to other spirits. Tea leaves and the like are basically the spirit's way of, or the universe's way of talking to you.
Now, does it all have significance or just some of it? When it comes to life around us?
It depends on the witch, and it depends on the kinds of things that you are trying to detect.
I've noticed, especially within the past year, whenever I'm just really stuck in my head and just digging and dwelling just in the depths for about a couple hours, something will happen to smack me out of it. I'll be at work and I'm on my my electric riding forklift, and I have this cage above me, but like something. I remember one time, but probably a few weeks ago, I'm pissed off about something, just really in there. And then right when I'm coming to like the breaking point in my head where I'm just like, motherfucker, like almost ready to shout out loud. This bumper dropped at the top of the cage, scared the shit out of me, brought me right out of it.
Oh, shit.
Well, at the same time, my warehouse is a mess, ran by imbeciles, and our equipment's bad, and it's known for ripping shit out of the shelves in the warehouse. It could have been that, or it could have been, the universe telling me, get the fuck out of your head. Because that would happen that too, or like my cart would bang something and make a noise, but it's always like in those moments that, or I'm just always in a bad mood, and it just happens to happen when I'm doing that. Either way, I'm going to take it as get something telling me to get out of my head, because I do it a lot. Which brings me to the final tale this evening from your humble narrator. Earlier in the chat, we talked about sleep paralysis demons. Have you had experience with this, Sako?
I have not.
Well, I've had dreams like I wake up and I can't move. It's happened a couple of times, but like it never felt like anything was on me per se. It's more like I was like a magnet stuck to my bed.
Yeah.
But when was this? Year and a half ago. Actually, a little less. I was kind of in a really bad place mentally. Worse off than I am now, believe it or not. Actually, I'm kind of okay now, especially comparative. So I was only sleeping 4 hours a night. Or, I was just started this night shift job. And just, things, personal life, people around me, just, I don't know. I was stuck in places I was making myself miserable, didn't want to get out because I didn't want to get out of normal, and I felt like I need to still be there. One of those things. It kind of attributed to me just being in my constant state of bad headspace. I remember having this really freaky dream. Woke up. It was probably I had to still be dawn, because I remember I don't know if I was seeing it or just seeing it through my eyelids, the dawn light peering through the window by my bed. But I couldn't open my eyes or whatever, and I couldn't get up. But it felt like something was on me. And it started humming in this really fucking I don't know if it was a language, but it was like right by my right ear. Like I didn't feel the breath, but I could just hear the audio. It was just real light. It almost sounded like a children's rhyme. It was like this one movie I saw, a horror film. Actually, didn't come out too long ago. It was this demon in a box, and I think it was like old Hebrew demon or whatever. But yeah, it made the same kind of creepy humming sound. But it was a little different. But I don't know, maybe if like it was connected to that or I was in a dream, but it did that. And just what really sank in for me, other than being scared to fucking death, because I knew right then and there, sleep paralysis demon.
Yep.
um, what it was like, get the, stop sinking into those dark places in your head. It's gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That was like kind of the thought I had in my head. Then I just forced myself and sat up. My eyes were open. It was dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Hour before my alarm went off. So I was freaked out and pissed off.
Sure.
There's no way I'm going back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Could at least waited like, an extra 30, 40 minutes. But yeah, no, I didn't listen. I kept going for a while. And I went back into drinking for a little bit. That's how bad I was.
Mm.
It was during that time. But yeah. Yep. I don't know what happened to my friend, but I never saw it again.
Suck.
Thanks for waking me up, Dick. If I wake up, never mind. Okay, say if I wake up tomorrow and it's on me again, like I heard you.
Yeah, I heard you.
I am what you eat. Cold sweat, yeah. I don't get cold sweats, but like, I don't know, I generate a lot of body heat, and I'm in basement level, and I have like a vent right by me. In the wintertime, I'm getting heat pushed on me anyway, so I don't know if I'm getting sweats for that, or I'm just peering down it. Ooh, upside down face. Makes you wonder, Shannon, have you ever seen The Grudge? Whether it be the original Japanese version or the new one that's okay.
The Grudge was Ju-on?
Yeah, Ju-on.
Yeah.
That movie didn't scare me that much, except for at the end. There's a scene where that woman spirit is crawling down the steps, and you see her head turn around the corner. And yeah, that right now, it's like, that was a great shot. Experience a sleep paralysis nightmare that only comes to me when someone in the real life is about to do something bad to me. It's like a warning.
Mm-hmm.
A herald.
A harbinger.
Eesh. Well, you don't really want that kind of stuff anyway. I'm just thinking like having a forewarning. Then it's like, great. Now something's going to happen to somebody. You don't know who. So what do you think that is? Just connection. We have a deeper connection to the subconscious when it comes to being sensitive to this kind of stuff.
I think it depends, because I think children are more inclined to see it.
Yeah.
And then when they get older, they kind of fall out of it.
Holy crap. I forgot a story. When I was still living in that house in the Roseland neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, picture a hallway. You're looking straight down it. Mine's at the end. You're looking at it. Parents are left, brother right, about like 12 feet ahead of mine. One night, I was about 7, I think. I went to his room. It was, around bedtime. I think I left something in there, like a comic book or whatever, or like maybe I wanted something from him, or maybe I just want to smack him in the head. I forget. I knock on his door, like, hey, asshole, open up. And I looked over in my bedroom, and on the door open, whatever. I saw that thing that I've been dreaming about. This, I guess to describe it, it did look like a demon.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mangled body, humanoid, with almost like a goatish face, but like human looking.
Huh.
I look over, and just from the corner of the room, looked like it was like creeping towards my bed, like it was ready to pounce. It froze and looked at me. I was like, "Oh fuck!" And it was gone. Like I blinked and it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother opened the door at the same time. He's like, "What?" So I'm like, "Can I sleep in here tonight?" There's something going down in my room, and I don't want to be in there. But yeah, that all stopped when I moved out of that house. I actually went kind of close by there not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Roseland neighborhood, and it's worse.
Mm.
My city is getting a little worse in places. Better in some, but that's gentrification, if you want to call that better.
Yeah.
Just people buying out places, and sticking more unaffordable things there. That's another topic, another ghost.
Yeah.
Strong bonds with a lot of people. She might have escaped Chile in 1970. Ooh, yeah. South America, 70s, 80s, like Chile, Brazil, Colombia. Oh, God. You want to talk about blood soaked soil. Even to this day, Central America, South America, man. That's why, like, anybody who's in America talks about checking anyone's privilege. You're in America, you are privileged.
Mm-hmm.
You're sleeping tonight under a roof, food that's not been in the garbage for a couple of days. Especially up here, like in this city, like I haven't seen many homeless people around lately. I don't know if they migrated or they found better digs because it gets bad up there. Like there's nowhere you can really hide from the wind. You can hide there, but it'll change a few hours later, and all of a sudden you're getting blasted. There was this one guy. They closed down. It was like one of the big bridges in Chicago. He found like a little tunnel in there, like kind of like I don't know where they put that at. Kind of like I wouldn't say the armpit, like the butt of one of them. He was able to find like a little room in there, and he made a whole apartment off, and he like got electric working off of the grid from the bridge, and he had like his TV in there. He had like a record player and all that shit, and he lived in there for years. But yeah, and they finally dug his ass out. But you do get this feeling when you're around like certain canals. Well, for one thing, water, big generator for these, this kind of energy.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, like another thing, Illinois has a ley line going through it.
Oh.
But it's like it's farther south in the state. It's closer to like I think Peoria, maybe. I don't know. I would say someone correct me out there if anyone there is from the ill state. But yeah, there's a ley line going through here. But yeah, the waters, like the Chicago River in particular, you just get this vibe from it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get like closer to a lake too, like almost, or maybe it's me and I'm being crazy, and it's like I want you to go in there with it. Go in there, just jump in. But at the same time, how many times I sat there getting drunk staring at it. Maybe I just want to jump in. But anyways,
story of my life.
Yeah. Not even just to want to do anything to myself. Like I just want to jump in that water. It looks nice and cold and dark. Yeah, totally resourceful. I mean, he was really old then. This is like 20 years ago. I like to think he found a bridge somewhere in another city. The Bridge Man.
Yawn.
Yawning.
Yawn.
Parents knew a lot of lost. That's oh, that's cool. Why didn't you come on tonight, Daniel Fisher? Other than the fact I don't think we're friends on any social media, and I couldn't have invited you. So I don't know. Where do we go with this whole ghost thing? I mean, we do kind of like have a lot of explanations with science and also like the way hallucinations work. I mean, would you believe that not everything's a ghost? Not everything what people think they see is
exactly. Because that spirit that says that they're your grandma might not be your grandma
or a child. I've heard plenty of stories about that where people get tricked.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one couple I knew. They were like real, holistic, spiritual. They thought they befriended a child in this apartment building, in like the hallways and stuff. And like they invited, and like you can come in the house and hang out. Just listen to music and stuff. And all of a sudden, their relationship fell apart. They started getting real violent with each other, and I think they eventually. I don't know. I stopped talking to them after that. I ran off to other shit, but Yeah, that was the last I saw of them.
Oh.
Because they were telling me about it. Because they know I was into that kind of shit.
Hmm.
So, you never know. Not to mention, it was there like a Twilight Zone episode about that? The little girl ghost? Well, she was actually just a ghost. It wasn't a demon. Now you want to talk about something that still holds up to this day? The original Twilight Zone.
Yep.
My all-time favorite television show.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's up there. Number one. I was going to say, the old Doctor Who's up there. Batman the Animated Series up there, of course. Have you ever done any kind of like investigating? Gone to places?
Sure.
Where have you gone?
Again, Savannah, Occoquan.
Any of the bases out there? The old bases? Or like where the, like forts or stuff like that?
I don't remember much of that in Arizona.
Well, I meant like by you right now, like, the old forts and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean like Bull Run and Fort Belvoir and the Pentagon and shit like that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to pretend like I know where all these places are at. I did pay attention a little bit in Civil War history, but Gettysburg, that was
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there we go.
Not far from here.
My stepdad went to all those places. He did a big tour of it. Didn't take me, asshole. But yeah, he went to Gettysburg, and I think he did one too. I'm not sure. I have to ask him. But I've always wanted to take a tour of all those old, where those Civil War battles took place. Or if there's any good Revolution spots still left. I never hear about those.
Jamestown and Williamsburg and Virginia Beach, like that. That whole area is chock full of that shit.
Now,
William and Mary,
like here in Springfield, they have like little setups, like in Lincoln's old neighborhood, to life like how it was supposed to be back in those times. Like, the houses, the schools, and stuff like that. And of course, they have the tour of Abe Lincoln's house. Like, do they have anything set up, like, any neighborhoods that look straight out of colonial times?
You mean spirits?
No, I meant living people. Do they have it, like,
Oh, yeah. Williamsburg is a period town.
There we go. Period town. There we go. There's period neighborhoods in Springfield.
Yeah. Yeah, Williamsburg is like that. You buy tickets, and it's kind of like a Ren Fair, but it's all colonial.
I would like to do that. And yes, you do, Shannon. You have good taste.
Damn right.
And for anime fans out there, I do watch-alongs with friends and fellow writers on Discord, and I got my friend S.C. Houston here to watch the movie Akira not too long ago. And I feel kind of proud of that, introducing somebody to that world and starting with that movie. Because I couldn't find Vampire Hunter D other than a YouTube copy, which had commercials on it.
S.D. Houston went to William and Mary.
Really?
Huh. That's crazy.
Oh,
Small world.
It is a small world, isn't it?
It is.
But it's getting smaller. I don't like that. Too small. Suffocating me. Blah.
I know the difference between manga and anime now. Yay!
Oh yeah, because I'm watching this movie and I keep pausing it and I'd say to her, "All right, this is how it happened in the manga. They left this good part out." And yeah, by the way, you did see Akira in the book, and he's in it for a while. He's in it for a good portion of it, and they create their own kingdom. It was at the Kingdom of New Japan or whatever, and they started creating more people with powers, and it gets really fucking crazy. None of which you see in that truncated mess of a movie, which is good if you haven't read the manga. If you haven't read the manga, you'll love it, because that's what I did for many years. So I'm like, yeah, that movie ain't shit.
Battle Royale is something similar.
Really?
Yeah.
I've wanted to read that one, and now after reading Akira, it's like, I don't want to ruin that, because I love Battle Royale.
There's like 15 books. 16 books to Battle Royale, the manga.
So almost 3 times the amount of Akira. Cool. But same time,
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is. It is so good.
Not to make you read manga so damn fast. It's faster than regular comics.
Sometimes.
What? Yeah. Like, the shonen stuff. Like, like Bleach and all that. Like, for me, I burn right through them. Probably because there isn't like a shitload of dialogue. As opposed to reading something from Marvel in the 90s where you get like, a whole page of bubble.
Yeah.
Well,
what else is new?
The manga, what, Akira? Ultima? He directed it too, I think, but he wasn't done with it. I don't think. But by 1987, 88, yeah, I think he didn't finish it until like a few years later, like the 90s. And I don't know if this is true. Feel free, anyone to correct me on this, but they pretty much told him, we want to make a movie about this now, so we'll let you write and direct it, but you better figure out how to finish it, because we're doing this now or we're not doing it. Maybe? Or I was just listening to the wrong weeb. Yeah, 2 years later. Yes. Thank you. I love having a brains of the operation. Oh, then you're a brains too, Sako. Fast route. Okay, brains. Multiple. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, I loved that movie for a very long time, for years before reading the book and ruining it. So there's something to it. But I should watch some anime tonight. I haven't watched it in a while. I haven't watched any TV at all. I've been busy with all this new things I've been doing. I haven't touched my game rarely at all. I gave up trying to edit that video. I'm just gonna release it unabridged. By the way, folks, I'm streaming tomorrow night. I'm doing a pre-recorded interview with my friend Adrian LeVay, YouTuber from the Goth scene, also singer, awesome person.
Sweet.
Y'all check in for that. I was gonna chop it down because a couple of filler seconds of my bumbling, because I tend to rant and rave like a burnout. But since none of the errors are on her, I'm just gonna release it without shame. I don't care what y'all think. Damn, what time am I gonna do it? Are you doing anything tomorrow night?
That is usually date night.
Okay. Just make sure you're not streaming or anything. If I'm not stepping on anybody else's toes, I will just pick it random before the end of the stream.
Cool.
But it's just under an hour and a half. And I'm not doing any kind of like anything. I'm just dumping it on there.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Well, the reason I'm done tomorrow because it's National Absinthe Day. And also the one thing about her and her YouTube channel, and she's an absinthe enthusiast. And does a lot of videos on it, along with, not so much goth fashion, a little, but mostly music. So the artists. She fellows, singer as well. And we know a lot of the same people.
All of the people that SD knows that usually streams tomorrow are not streaming tomorrow.
Cool. Are you not streaming, Shannon? You stream every day, it seems.
Oh,
because people are more productive than me.
Accountability stream that she does.
Yeah, and some people have more accountability than I do.
That no shit, we're gonna get shit done. Streams,
which I need to fall more in line with. You don't even want to know how much I labored over that damn edit before rage quitting. StreamYard doesn't like me at all. I just want to cut out a couple of things, but it just kept erroring and, can't load up the video. I'm like, fuck this.
Probably because it was too long.
Well, yeah, probably. But it was cool chat, and might as well just put it out as it is, organic.
Woo.
And it's pretty solid. Wasn't too terrible for my first interview. I mean, unless you consider the shit I've been doing here the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So some weekend soon, I'll be having ST Houston on one of mine, since she does on the Friends. Not predicted earning streams at all. Yeah, same here. In fact, I don't even remember last time I even participated in a sprint. Usually I'm at work when y'all are doing yours. Well,
Server problem.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
I keep trying to download a file, and it says I'm running out of space on my computer.
You better dump that garbage.
I have.
Yeah, actually, it's so damn new. I really don't have to do anything on it yet. Probably can even run a scan for another month. I would say so far it hasn't been giving me problems other than that StreamYard thing, which I'm just blaming on the StreamYard. Easy enough. See, I'm still trying to get my rhythm. Since I'm doing all those new things, that kind of threw me off. So it's spurts. And I keep freezing up. I get overwhelmed with, like, what the hell am I going to do next? Because for some reason, having a full plate is my thing now. Because
I have a full plate all the time.
there is a write-a-thon at the end of this month. Stream Sunday morning.
There is. I'm going to be in Atlanta, so I can't do
I will be there. And I will be held accountable for my I can't say laziness.
You're not lazy.
My
You are not. You are not lazy.
Oh no, I am. If anything, in my mind, because I will look at everything like I don't want to do any of this shit today. None of it, even the stuff I want to do.
Yes, I know the feels.
But no, I need to get more. Oh God, I know I'm going to hear voices from the past laughing and saying things, but I need to get a little more better at my time management. Since I freeze up too much when that whole overwhelming feeling. I need to learn to, like, all right, I can do this on this day at this time and not get too stuck on it. Keep away from my damn phone. That is the worst one. Because I'll think of something, like, especially when I'm writing, I'll get tripped up on a word. It just falls out of rhythm with the rest of the paragraph or the sentence. Like, I know there's a better word for this. I need to look it up. Do I want to grab my mouse and start clacking the keyboard, or just grab my phone here at my side and bloop right then? But since I'm already on my phone, oh, look, I got this. I got a text. Let me answer this. Oh, I got this email I got to answer. Oh, shit, I got to get back to this person.
Uh-oh. It's a slippery slope.
Yep. Back on the wheel. So I do have to get the phone away from me.
Yeah.
What I also have to do is get my writing back on my laptop, because this outlet I got to sync up my mouse and my keyboard to it isn't working.
Oh.
All it's doing is showing the screen on my big ass monitor for my desktop, and the mouse isn't working. I've tried every other variation, different plugs. I even tried some weird shit. Nothing. So either I'm stupid or my thing's broken. Or both. Yeah, I'm singing about that earlier. But I definitely had a Homer Simpson moment. It'll haunt me forever. Bam! That's like forever. That seems like such a friendly dog. Why'd they run from him? I would have ended that movie right away if I was Smalls. I would have hopped over the fence. Oh, look at that good boy. Let me get that ball.
You go get that ball.
No, actually, they would have had to come looking for me, because I would have been playing fetch with the ball with the dog. Hey, guys, it's Hercules. Did you know this guy used to play baseball? This blind dude in this house right here? Dude, did he sound like Darth Vader? Oh, wait, that was the 50s. Never mind.
Yay, doll is being productive.
Oh, shit.
I'm not offended. I am not offended by you being productive.
See, I'm busy, not productive.
I do miss you. However,
Yes.
you've been busy. Like, I get it. I've been busy. Shit.
I just got to work more on productive. I'm kind of productive. I could be more. And that's what keeps pushing me.
Mm.
I got to center on what I want to get done first. All right, I got this done. Well, almost done. Push out this stream tomorrow. I got to get out these blogs tomorrow because I'm done with the 2 of them, and I got to transfer that interview down to a written one because it won't be a lot smaller anyways. But yeah, at some point in my life, that'll be done.
Ask Sage about busy. Yeah, no shit. Though Sage does make time for me, which I am honored about. I'm actually casting a spell for them tomorrow.
Do I know Sage?
You should, but if you don't. Moon Bunny Creative?
That name sounds familiar.
It has a blue field with a white bunny with clouds in the background as their user picture. I designed the logo.
Oh, no.
No.
But I would like to know them. I like meeting people, especially people you know, because they're
Great editor.
Friend of yours, friend of mine. Really?
Mm-hmm. Great editor.
Yeah, I like good editors that don't ghost you and don't like take all your money.
We did for trade. I did their identity for they did a thing for me. They proofread Hope's chest.
Well,
which was my debut.
I don't know if I can do any of that for somebody. If you need some favors, you mean to go talk to somebody for you, you handle a couple problems for you. I mean, a couple guys, that's about it. Give them a nice talking to, nothing too rough. I mean, well, it depends. How much money are you talking here? Who are they? But otherwise, no. Money.
Oh, doll.
What happened?
Yeah. Just, they're like, so.
I can't wait.
English is not doll's first language, right?
I know this.
So sometimes the writing is a little janky. And technically speaking, English is not Sage's first language either, but they know.
Hell, according to you, English isn't my first language either. With my truncated sentences.
And your janky grammar. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Well, you see the way, like I said, I think it's more of the city thing than it is actually any kind of like imbalance.
Yeah.
Or it might be that too, or both.
Or both.
I got hit in the head a couple of times, a couple bricks, a couple crowbars. It's the way it happens here. Survival in the city. Back against the wall. But yeah, I can't wait for that. She's awesome. And I like seeing more stuff coming out from awesome people.
Yay! Awesome stuff from awesome people. I'm really hype about Doll's book.
Yes, me too. Because I'll be plugging away with my 3 followers. And actually, yeah, she one of the first few people that got to read my stuff when I started writing. Because she's one of the first people I got to meet in AuthorTube when I was snuck in through the back door.
I still have some of the older drafts of Doll's stories and stuff.
I think I do, like, back in my emails, because I know she sent me them. But I sent her, the first draft for No Strings Attached, Lake Eliza. I don't know about Morning Drive. I don't know about Skin Auction. I know she I remember her reading Lake Eliza and saying very nice things about it.
Oh,
My first delve into Lovecraftian Eldritch horror,
nice.
it was okay. Hell yeah, go doll. Speaking of, you are welcome on here as well anytime you want, doll, my friend. Whenever I can stream. I know we're on different schedules in life. I'm on the second shift, and I try to get in bed before 2 a.m. And I don't try to get out of before 8 a.m.
Oh, I wonder. So, Doll's writing was one of the first ever read on AuthorTube for the very first live ever in CGL. Loved that story. I wonder, was it Danger? Because that was like, mwah.
I remember that one. But yeah, I guess I'll have to send it to you. Oh, speaking of, I don't know. What should I do? Should I finish this graphic novel or should I revise this body horror story?
Body horror story.
Cool. Well, I guess just get a little sneak peek. I wrote a body horror story after my first story, No Strings Attached. It's pretty much my salute to the Cronenbergs of the world, the Junji Itos of the world. Let's just say it's a domestic story, and basically instead of the fly, a spider, and it's two vegan couples, and let's say something happens to one of them and they don't stay vegan for very long, and it's pretty gross. That I wanted to put as much yuck into that body horror story because that's what you need for that. And
yeah,
the few people that have read it said they liked it. It's called The Cyst.
ooh.
Yeah. Well, the person gets bitten in the face and goes from there. Instead of crawling on walls and fighting Doc Ock or Chameleon, they go through the rogue's path.
Ooh.
Hold up.
Oh, Nightmare?
Yeah, do I have her as modded on here? I better have her modded or I will hate myself. Doll better be a mod. I didn't have the chat open. I pull up my phone. Oh, crap. I'm sorry, Doll. You are modded, my friend. Use it wisely.
Use it wisely.
Or unwisely. Just don't use it against me.
Hmm.
You can take what you want. You better not take it from me.
It has been 2 hours.
Oh, shit. It has. I don't know. You got anything else to say?
Feeling on the spot.
Anything to wrap up our talk about demons, ghosts? We didn't get to cryptozoology because we didn't have anyone into it. I'm interested in it, but I'm not into it an expert level. So if anyone out there is into cryptozoology, I want you on here for another episode.
Oh, okay.
So demons and ghosts.
So demons and ghosts.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. My final thoughts are there's a lot of etiquette around the dead, and I strongly suggest doing a little bit of research before you go into a cemetery, because there's always a cemetery guardian that you kind of have to pay homage to before you go poking around. So take that into consideration. Don't fuck with demons. It's not worth it. They're lame.
9 times out of 10, I think if a child's trying to communicate with you, more than likely it's a demon. But what do you think about what they're feeling towards us? Do you think there's indifference, resentfulness?
It varies from spirit to spirit.
So you don't think it's like a universal collective?
No.
Makes sense. I say yes to it all. because I want it all to be real. Even the stuff that shouldn't be real. Because I love life to be interesting and full of wonders. And as there has to be cool, fun, light stuff to be, without light, there's no darkness. I'm RC Scott, folks. Should just end it right there. But here we get the link here, Dala. Oh, come on, dude. Look, I like a few Red Hot Chili Pepper songs, but I don't see why people dick ride them the way they do. Mm-hmm. Flea's an amazing bassist. There we go. Yeah, I'll give him that. He's goat.
He cracks me up because I learned the trick where you cover your hands in super glue before you play guitar. He taught me that.
Kirk Hammond taught me about that on guitar. But he also taping around your knuckles and all that because my hand's constantly drying, cracking, and does get bad.
Yeah.
And Stevie Ray Vaughan wanted to super glue his calluses to his fingers because they were ripping off. Because that dude was playing some badass guitar.
No.
That means I should have done. But no, like, yeah, I think we kind of just separate. Parts of us stay places. That's why, like, they say our ancestral DNA, like, their memories live on through us. So maybe there is part of that, and we just take it with us, and we echo and we repeat it until the next time around.
It happens.
But anyways, I got to make some with the rest of my night. Thank you all for joining me. Sako, always great to have you here, my friend, talking about creepy shit because we creep it up the most. Shannon, Dahl, my friends. Daniel Fisher. I don't know if we follow each other on social media, man. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, the RC Scott Official, Twitter, the RC Scott. Not on TikTok. But yeah, mostly on Facebook. That's where I play at. And yeah, I mean, social media, I'm not the most social. I do what I can on there. And I try to keep my posts a little less emo. Nice. Thank you. Let's see who else came here tonight. There's a few people. Veed, you're high ass. Thank you for coming. Jeno, I love you, my sister. Text me sometime if you're still awake. Mama Ward, of course. That's about it. Oh, yeah, Damien, the evil one. We're talking about demons. We got to mention the son of the devil. Thanks for coming, my friend. But I am RC. Oh yeah, J. Pierre, my bad, dog. Talented artist, by the way. You'll be on here again sometime soon, you bastard. Don't worry. I don't know what I'm doing next Saturday, but oh yeah, next Sunday, I do plan on having a stream with Adrian. We're gonna talk about my voice because he likes so much. Apparently, it's like melting butter. So I'm gonna throw on some Barry White and talk about how I love him just the way you are. Anywho, folks, y'all have a good night out there. Say goodnight, Sako.
If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this one, you might want to subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube would actually notify you when RC goes live. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Stay hydrated, my friends.